In the realm of cryptocurrency regulation and digital assets, the recent passing of the FIT21 law is a momentous occasion that signifies a significant breakthrough. This new finding is particularly relevant in the continuing tale of Ripple versus the SEC, which is a court struggle that has caught the interest of the entire cryptocurrency sector and beyond. Ripple has been fighting to maintain XRP's categorization as a non-security for years, and cryptocurrency fans and holders of XRP have been watching with bated breath while they do so. They are hopeful that regulators would provide clarification and treat them fairly. Now, with the revisions that were made to FIT21, the SEC's regulating jurisdiction over digital assets has been severely limited. As a result, Congress is basically classifying XRP as a commodity rather than a security, and thereby establishing a new precedent for the whole cryptocurrency industry. This change in the law sends a significant message to the markets and institutional players, suggesting that the SEC's hold is weakening and that the door to widespread acceptance of XRP is opening wider than it ever has before. There is a possibility that it may promote further institutional investment and innovation in the sector. In this video, we will investigate the FIT21 document that was released in great depth, providing insight into the decisions that lawmakers have really made and the implications that this decision has for the future of digital assets. As a result of this groundbreaking legislation, we will investigate how these changes directly influence the case brought by the SEC, as well as what new legal strategies may develop as a result of this legislation. In the final part of this discussion, we will dissect the possible price effect of XRP and investigate the many situations in which its value may, over the course of time, reach stratospheric heights as confidence in the asset increases and the regulatory ambiguity is slowly disappearing. It is a groundbreaking piece of legislation that incorporates measures that significantly alter the landscape of digital asset regulation in the United States. This legislation is known as FIT21, which stands for the Financial Innovation and Technology Act of 2021. A substantial portion of the SEC's conventional power over digital assets like as XRP, which has been at the heart of regulatory disputes for years, is essentially stripped away as a result of this legislation, which is one of the most important implications it has. Through the process of redefining the classification of these assets, FIT21 represents a significant shift in the power dynamic between the several regulatory bodies concerned. As a result of the bill's official declaration of XRP as a commodity rather than a security, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, often known as the CFTC, will be given main administrative responsibility. Comparatively, the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) is frequently perceived as being more conservative and enforcement-driven, whereas the Commodity Futures Trading Commission (CFTC) has traditionally adopted a more crypto-friendly and innovation-focused approach. The relocation of this responsibility may result in a regulatory climate that is more favorable to digital assets. With this move, the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) is directly challenging its former stance, which was that XRP was offered as an unregistered security. This position has been a central issue in the SEC's high-profile litigation against Ripple. The new categorization under FIT21 weakens the legal standing of the SEC and has the potential to affect the result of cases that are currently being litigated and those that will be litigated in the future concerning digital assets. Despite the fact that the approval of this measure does not immediately put a stop to the litigation that the SEC has filed against Ripple, it does make the accusations that the agency has made substantially less compelling. In addition to this, it paves the way for a regulatory environment that is not only longer drawn out but also has the potential to be more balanced. This environment will prioritize technological innovation and development above enforcement measures that are extreme. Of the following part, we will go into the individual sections of FIT21 that have generated a great deal of enthusiasm and hope throughout the cryptocurrency community, and we will investigate what each of these clauses may imply for the future of digital assets in the United States. Insiders and trustworthy leaks have revealed that JP Morgan Chase, one of the largest banks in the world, is secretly preparing to implement XRP in their repurchase agreement market, which handles around $10 trillion in daily transactions. This information comes from sources that are considered to be reliable, Simple estimates show that the price of XRP might skyrocket to about $10,000 per token if even 1% of this enormous financial ecosystem starts using it for settlements and liquidity. The following is not only conjecture, the information is drawn from actual market data and adoption scenarios that are based on reality. We are going to walk through the calculations together to demonstrate how the liquidity and quickness of XRP make it exceptionally well suited for such a function. The management of expectations, on the other hand, is important. A price tag of $10,000 indicates that the market capitalization is more over $6 quadrillion, which is more than the total wealth of all nations in the world combined. To carry out such a review would need for unprecedented worldwide adoption, and its actualization may take many decades. There is no immediate event that will take place in 2024 or even in the near future. Rather, it is a visionary aim that emphasizes the revolutionary potential of blockchain technology and digital assets as essential pillars in global banking. In addition to this, we will talk about the ways in which Ripple's strategic alliances, escrow mechanisms, and the market supply of XRP all either assist or restrict this growth potential. Furthermore, despite the fact that FIT21 lessens the SEC's regulatory overreach, the litigation is not yet formally resolved. Therefore, holders of XRP should be watchful and informed in order to avoid the possibility of the SEC appealing or pushing back in other ways. In the short to medium term, the price volatility of XRP will be impacted by this legal tug-of-war, which adds an element of uncertainty to the situation. When it comes to navigating the market for XRP, we will discuss what this represents for investors and how to strike a balance between risk and opportunity. With a larger perspective, FIT21 indicates a shift in how politicians regard cryptocurrencies, shifting their attitude from viewing them as dangers to viewing them as creative financial instruments that require sophisticated control. With this paradigm change, new use cases for XRP might become available, such as payments that are made across international borders, settlements that take place in real time, and integration with established financial infrastructure. During this discussion, we will investigate the expanding network of relationships that Ripple has with financial institutions, payment providers, and even governments, which may be hastened by this regulatory shift. In addition, the narrative of adoption from an institution is growing increasingly enticing with each passing day. In addition to JP Morgan, there are speculations circulating that other financial heavyweights are getting ready to utilize the scalable and rapid blockchain technology of XRP. We are going to investigate the implications that these agreements have for the liquidity, volume, and function that XRP plays within the larger ecosystem of digital assets. It is important for investors to recognize that the underlying trigger for long-term price increase is not hype or short-term speculation, but rather that persistent adoption by trustworthy institutions is the genuine driver. When it comes to the technical aspects of the market, we will also talk about the recent price movements of XRP as well as trading volumes and chart patterns in order to get an understanding of the current market sentiment. These technological insights, when paired with the fundamental revisions to the legal and institutional framework, give a holistic picture of the development of XRP. By gaining a grasp of these components, you will be able to make more educated choices, regardless of whether you are a day trader or a long-term holding. As we get to the end of this in-depth examination, it is important to keep in mind that although the FIT21 law presents Ripple with a significant amount of hope and the much required legal relief, the path for XRP and the cryptocurrency industry